Hello friends, Miss Audra here today to talk to you a little bit about germs. And I have with me Willow and River. So a few of the things that we're going to talk to you about today are social distancing, masks, and I just want to let you know that River and Willow are sisters and I am their mom, which is why we're not wearing masks standing up here right now. So what are germs? Germs are tiny little organisms that are everywhere. And Willow, what do germs do?
They make you sick.
They do. They make you sick. And how can we avoid getting germs? River, do you have any ideas on something that we might be able to do to avoid getting germs?
Well, we can wash our hands very often.
You're right, we can wash our hands very often. Another really good way to avoid getting germs is to have a healthy immune system. River, do you know what an immune system is?
I think it's the way that your body fights off germs.
Yeah, it is. It's your body's system that helps you fight off germs and helps keep you from getting sick. Willow, how can we have a healthy immune system?
You can eat fresh veggies and fruit.
That's a really good idea. You can also talk to the important adults in your life for more tips on how to have a healthy immune system so that your body is ready to fight off germs. Right now, we're going to show you how easily germs can spread. So we each have a little bit of paint in front of us, and that paint is a different color for each of us, and it's going to represent our germs. So we're going to put some gloves on. You put your gloves on. You can see my germs are red. Willow has yellow germs and River has blue germs. So what we're going to do, we all each have a piece of paper. We're going to start, once we have our gloves on, by getting a little bit of germs on our fingers. So we all have our own germs on our fingers. Okay? Then we're going to pick up our paper. Go ahead, pick it up. And we're just going to kind of hold our paper. Now, I want to switch papers with River. River, can I switch papers with you? Thank you. That's nice. Willow, can I switch papers with you? All right, thank you. So now we've all switched papers. Maybe River and Willow, you should switch papers. Go ahead, switch papers. What's that? River, you said you had an itch on your forehead. Maybe you should scratch that. Willow, do you have an itch on your cheek? Maybe you should scratch that. I got an itch on my nose and my forehead and my cheek. Oh man, you have red on your face. You have red and blue and yellow on your face. What about me? Do I only have red germs on me? Because my germs were red. Do I have other colors on me?
No.
No, I only have red? No. My paper has yellow. My gloves have blue. Other than the color of the gloves, I have blue germs there and there. So as you can see, even with gloves on, every time you touch something, you leave a little trace of your germs on it. And when you hand that thing to somebody else, they get a little bit of your germs and they put their germs on it. So that is how easily germs can be spread. River, you said washing our hands was one way that we could limit the spread of germs.
Yeah.
Willow, what should we do if we have to sneeze or cough?
You can use your elbow.
What part of your elbow? Should I try to sneeze and cough? The inside of your elbow?
Yeah.
Even if you have
a mask.
Even if you have a mask on. When you have to sneeze or cough, you should into the inside of your elbow. That's the safest place for your germs to go. And then River, what is the other thing we always want to avoid doing?
Touching our face.
Right.
Which you can see has a very big reaction.
You don't want to touch your face. Even if it's a mask on, you don't want to touch your mask. So now, let's talk about washing hands. So you want to wash your hands with warm water and soap. And you want to wash them frequently throughout the day, especially anytime you touch something that could have germs on it. And as we saw in the paint exercise, germs are everywhere. So a trick to how long you should wash your hands is singing either happy birthday or the ABCs twice. That's about 20 seconds, and that's about as long as you should wash your hands to get rid of all of the germs. First step you're gonna do is you're going to turn on the water and wet your hands, okay? Get them all nice and wet. Then you're gonna shut the water off, and you're gonna get some soap. You're going to scrub while you sing, and you wanna make sure you scrub the outsides, the insides, between your fingers, and under your fingernails. And you wanna get your wrists. So when you sing, I'm gonna sing out loud to show you. You probably wanna do it in your head because somebody at the sink next to you might be doing the same thing, and you don't wanna confuse each other, and then you won't know how long you've been washing your hands, and you could be there all day. So I'm going to wet my hands, get my soap, and start. Happy birthday to you. 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 All nice and clean. Now I'm going to rinse them off. Warm water on, rinse under the nice clean water. It's tempting, but don't play in the bubbles in the sink. Remember, that's dirty. Nice off. And then when I turn the sink off, if I have a paper towel close to me, I will grab one and turn the sink off. Otherwise, I'll use the back of my hand. I don't want to use my nice clean hands that I touch my face or anything else with. So then you're gonna turn the water off, grab paper towels, clean paper towels, pat dry, and the last thing I like to do is I like to use those paper towels to open the bathroom door. And then make sure they go in the trash. We always wanna make sure our paper towels go in the trash. Clean hands. Now I wanna talk to you a little bit about masks. So masks are kind of new for us this year, right? And they take a little bit of getting used to. River, why do we wear masks? What do they do? What do they do for germs?
They keep us from spreading.
They do. They help stop spread germs. That's right. And if River and Willow are standing and talking to each other, then they are both able to spread their germs by breathing, by talking, by coughing, by sneezing. But if River puts her mask on, now River is keeping in most of her germs, and she's keeping out most of Willow's germs. And if Willow puts her mask on, now she's keeping in most of her germs, and she's keeping out any of River's germs that are not kept in by her mask. So now they're both protected, and they've limited the spread of germs between the two of them. Now I want to talk about how to wear a mask, because we know why we should wear masks, but not everybody knows how to wear one. There are all different types of masks that you might see people wear. You might see people wear masks like this. You might see people wear masks like this. There are fun little masks like this that were made. There are bandana masks that people wear. And there are around the neck masks that just go around the neck. So I'm going to show you, there are the keys to wearing a mask effectively is that it has to be fitted to your face, and it has to cover your nose and your mouth. You don't want to wear a mask like this because it really isn't helping. And you don't want to wear it like this because then you can't see. So on your face, You want the mask to be fitted tight on the sides. You don't want it to be open like that. You don't want it to be so loose that it keeps falling down. A big part of the problem with masks is that if they don't fit well, what are we always doing? Adjusting, adjusting, adjusting. And what does that mean? If we're adjusting our mask all the time, we're touching it and we're touching our face. And again, that's what we don't want to be doing. So having masks that fit you really well is important. So I want to show you with a few masks. I'm going to put this mask on. Willow's going to put this mask on. And I'm going to show you that it's a little bit big for her. That one is. It's a little bit loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take little rubber bands and I'm going to tighten it. And you can do this with any masks that have the ear straps. So I'm going to take the end and I'm just going to put a little rubber band on the end here. This is a really good way if you have masks that are a little bit too big to tighten it up. And it's adjustable and it can be done on both sides. She doesn't really need it on both sides right now. That's good. So that's one way. Again, any with the ear straps, any of the masks that you have that are too big, you can use the little rubber bands to tighten. With the masks that go around your neck, these are really important that they fit well because they slide down easily. So if I have this on and it's constantly sliding down and I'm having to pick it up, it's probably not the best mask for me to be wearing. Some people can wear these and they work really well. And some people, I guess it just depends on like the shape of your face and what works for you. Again, that's another thing you can talk to the important adults in your life about what masks work best for you. Bandana masks, these are good because they can be adjusted pretty easily by tying. But as you pull them down for a mask break or pull them back up, they tend to loosen and they require a lot of adjusting. When you take your mask off, you definitely want to avoid doing what?
Touching your face.
Right. So we don't want to take our mask off like this, really. You want to just always grab it from the earpieces. If you're having a mask break and you're pulling it down, you can do it like that. If you're taking your mask off, you can just use your finger behind the ear. That's the safest and easiest way to take your masks off. The other thing that I wanted to show you were lanyards. These make mask breaks, like if you're in school and you have lunchtime, or anything like you're in a mask break, or if you're in a place where you're by yourself and you don't need to wear a mask, then you can have it, you don't lose it, you're not putting it down and, oh man, now all these masks are in a pile and I don't know which one is mine. You're not, misplacing it. You have it, it's yours, it's on your person, and if it's in your way, you can put it over your shoulder. But lanyards are really great ways to hold on to your masks. One more thing that I wanted to talk to you about masks is that we know that they come in all kinds of fun patterns, colors, characters, everything. And you're bound to have masks that your friends like, and your friends are bound to have masks that you like. The one thing that we want to make sure is that the mask you wear, you are the only person that wears it, and it is the only mask you wear. You do not want to be swapping masks with friends. You do not want to be trying on your friend's mask because it's a different style. If you want different styles of masks, again, those are conversations to have with the important adults in your life. We definitely don't want to be swapping masks with friends because that's swapping germs. Your masks have your germs. What other method do we use to stop the spread of germs?
We can social distance.
You're right. Social distance. River, what does that mean?
It means giving yourself a little more bubble space so that germs that come through your mask are still in your bubble space. And they mostly don't reach the person you're talking to.
So social distancing is, we want to stay how far apart? 6 feet? We want to stay 6 feet apart. And what does 6 feet look like? Do you know what 6 feet looks like? What do you think 6 feet looks like, River?
I think it looks like a door laying down on the floor.
Okay. Willow, what do you think 6 feet looks like?
2 carriages face to face.
Like shopping carts?
Yeah.
Excellent. Those are both really good examples. So a door laying on the ground in front of you, or 2 shopping carts end to end in front of you. Other examples of what 6 feet look like: the width of the front of a car, a mattress length, like a twin bed, a dog on a full leash, a very tall person laying down, or I like to picture Bigfoot. If Bigfoot can lay down on the ground between you and me, then we are spaced appropriately. So these are really good visuals on how to keep your bubble space, as we like to call it. Sometimes when we're talking to people, we might feel like they're too close to us, that they're inside of our bubble. So one way you can address that is you can take a step back and just kind of give yourself some extra space. But if I do that and then River steps towards me a little bit more, River, I would say, what's something I could say?
Could you please step back a little more while we talk?
Yeah, you could say, could you please give me a little more personal space while we talk? It's okay to talk to your friends or to people. We just want to be mindful not only of our own 6-foot bubble, but of somebody else's as well. We want to make sure that we're not in somebody else's space and making them feel uncomfortable. And we're okay to verbalize when we need somebody to take a step back and give us a little bit more space. This is what 6 feet looks like. This is not an arm's length away, not 2 arms lengths away. It's 6 feet. This is a safe social distance. In closing, I want to say that the rules for all of these are, not only are they always changing, but they're different depending on where you go. The rules at home or at the grocery store or at school may be different. Just be sure that you know what the rules are wherever you are, and if you don't, ask a trusted adult. It is important that we follow the rules when we are out because it keeps not only us safe, but it keeps other people safe as well. And if you need more information, the CDC website is great. And here in Massachusetts, we have a great campaign through the Department of Public Health called Mask Up Mass, and they have a lot of really great resources on the mass.gov website. And it is just, you know, there's a lot of information out there, but making sure that you have the right information is definitely important.